Ho, ho, ho! Part 6 of the last case of the base game of Spirit of Justice. And we were doing some investigating, and now we're back at Temple to do other things.
Inga's dead. Rafa is like torn. We're kind of thinking the queen's in on this
Yes.
if she didn't do it herself.
But is she, or is she so obvious that she's not?
Then who would it be?
I have no clue past her, because I can't see it being Rafa or Dirk himself.
I definitely think there's somebody else there because there's blood from another person. It's not Dirk and it's not Inga.
Yeah, and maybe they
And
don't
she
have
had her
Garand's.
hands covered. Remember, she's got the big like sleeves of
Yes.
her gown, or she's ordered somebody to do it. Or she could have been hiding inside on top of that coffin and stabbed him.
I'm very curious. Maya passed out. Yes. Can't go anywhere without passing out. What's wrong, Red? Are you alright? Yeah, just thinking is all. I'm glad you're here, Edgeworth. We wouldn't have gotten the permissions we have without you. Well, I didn't come all the way to Karain to be useless. Speaking of the investigation, I received a few things from Detective Sky. These should prove to be useful to us as well. Okay, so that's the stuff that we had already, right? Edgeworth. Honestly, I'd have been so lost without him these past few days. You there, the barbed-head lawyer of Phoenix Wright! What is that, a guard? Huh? Yes. You're from the Garan Royal Guard, right? I am Loki, Royal Guard member and Her Eminence's shoulder rubber. That's very specific. And what does the Royal Shoulder Rubber want with me? Like, come to think of it, don't be absurd. My shoulders are a bit stiff. I'm here for one purpose only. I am to bring you before Her Eminence, Queen Garan, Grand Priestess of Karain. Will you comply? Queen, what could you want with me? Why does he have to shout like that? I can't fathom why Queen Garan would summon you. I advise you to accept Her Eminence's gracious invitation. Royal Shoulder Rubber Locky, was it? May I join Mr. Wright in his audience with the Queen? The name's Lock-Key, L-A-H''K-E-E, and all praise the omnipotent Queen Garan, for she has already foreseen and approved your request, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. You are both to come with me! I don't know. You mean to say Queen Garan sees our every move? Yes, indeed! Her Eminence's spiritual power is immense! She can even see what's going on thousands of miles away. I fear I'll lose my hearing next if we don't hurry. Yeah, me too. Why would the Queen herself summon me personally? What could she possibly be up to? Is it any ideas what to do? Ah, the barbed-head lawyer has arrived. We bid you welcome. And you as well, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth.
He's a professional name?
Yeah. We're Barbed-Head, Horned-Head, Zalk a Rafa. This place is still as magnificent as last time. We have heard much about you, Barbed One. It seems your bluffs and tomfoolery tend to leave our court devastated in their wake. Is that what people have been saying about me? Right. Where are your manners? Your Eminence, I am both humbled and delighted to be in your presence. Oh, Your Eminence, glad to be here. Looks like you're doing well. Heh. It is alright. There is no need to keep your head bowed all day. Yes, Your Eminence. Rafa's not looking too good. I guess even she can't just bounce back from her father's murder.
Yeah, she's sorry not to have done that to a good person.
Yeah. So what can I do for you, Your Eminence? We wish to question you about something related to the case at hand. Perfect, because I have a few questions of my own. We fear we do not fully comprehend what has transpired. So it is that we summon you here to further elucidate the situation. Is it true that our husband Inga had been seeking the Founder's Orb? That's right, he wanted to trade a hostage for it. That's why he abducted Maya Fey. Insolent fool! Ow! Were we snackooed, but only by your staff? That is a lie, I say. Father would have never done such a thing. But he did abduct Maya, that much is... I will not stand here and listen to this nonsense. You will pay for this, you... Ow, please, your benevolence! That is quite enough, Rafa. We understand your feelings, but we fear he speaks the truth. For we believe we know why your father would do such a thing. Huh? We believe he was seeking the orb as a means of obtaining spiritual power, and with it he intended to usurp the throne. Mother. What do you mean, Your Eminence? Inga was planning a coup, for he was dissatisfied with the current administration, and his secret police was the primary instrument of his treason. The secret police? They came up during the High Priest murder trial, too. An elite force under the direct command of the Minister of Justice, in this case Inga. The man who was hunting down rebels as Lady Kira was a member of that group. Indeed, Inga turned that once proud force into his own private army, and he intended on using them to launch a coup and assassinate us. Yeah. So your Eminence had no control over them. As much as it shames us to admit it, Khura'in is not the unified realm it would appear to be. We are truly sorry you have had to witness the dirty underbelly of our kingdom. How could Father? But know that Inga could not have become king simply through our assassination, for in Khura'in only those who possess spiritual power may sit on the throne. I see, that explains why Minister Inga was seeking the Founder's Orb. Barbed One, do you recall the man known as Peace, Love, and Understanding? About him. He too was involved in Inga's machinations. Inga had bought his loyalty, ordered the man to steal the orb, and covered up the theft. And then he sent the orb to the U.S. for Dr. Buff to study. It's all coming together. The capture of the infamous villain Durk Sadmati. It may prove to be the crowning achievement of our reign. Now perhaps the kingdom may return to the peace it once knew. Oh, what a joyous day. Hail to Her Eminence, Queen Garan, Grand Priestess of Khura'in. Her Eminence's spiritual power invoked a blessing straight from the Holy Mother. I can see how her cronies would be elated at the prospect. But the Queen herself seems almost giddy for someone whose husband was just murdered.
And do that, and she figured it out.
Could be. Mother. Rafe, on the other hand, doesn't appear to be taking it so well. About that. Yes, he set fire to her private residence, burning my dear sister alive. Okay, now we know they're sisters. Murder by arson. Only a demon would be capable of such a heinous crime. What did you do before you were crowned queen, Your Eminence? As part of our training to be queen, we served many different governmental positions, the longest of which was as the previous Minister of Justice. It was in that position that we were best able to support our elder sister, Queen Amara. Interesting. That's her husband's position, or at least it was. And when you assess the Ability Act, the infamous villain Durk Sadmati was apprehended. He announced that he would act as his own lawyer. That's right. Durk used to be a lawyer. Durk had been an extraordinarily talented lawyer, and highly esteemed by the people. But he falsified evidence in an attempt to win his own case. I see. But when the truth of his fabrications and the assassination of the Queen came to light, the people were devastated, and trust in the legal system plummeted. Now why does that sound so familiar? Yeah, I wonder. Ahahaha. In Khura'in, the Hall of Justice is a sacred place where victims receive their last rites. Should the people lose their faith in it, the kingdom would be shaken to its very core. That is why the Defense Culpability Act had to be passed. It was the only way to keep our legal system from tumbling into the abyss. So that's how you sought to eliminate the use of perjury and phony evidence, huh? But that law is what made lawyers go extinct in your kingdom. Now there's no one left to defend those who have been accused. We see how you could take issue with such a reality. However, we have not banned the act of lawyering itself. Those who are confident that they can prove their client's innocence are always welcome to mount a vigorous defense, as you yourself have shown. Well, I guess so, but without lawyers, there's the possibility of false charges being filed and prosecuted. So long as our prosecutors continue to run nothing but perfect trials, there needn't be fear of such nefarious dealings. Do you disagree? Yeah, because if it weren't for us, 2 innocent people would have been killed already? 3? Perfect prosecutors and their perfect trials, huh? Let's not get started down this path. Well, yeah, he used to have a perfect record. Furthermore, here in Khura'in we have the divination seance. And so it is we no longer need lawyers, for the dead do not lie. Well, in the short time I've been here, I've beaten back false charges twice, and I've found that cases built on the memories of the dead are less than perfect. So yes, I do take issue with the Defense Culpability Act, to say the least. Ho ho ho! Such relentless rhetoric. Your reputation precedes you, Barbed One. It's as if we ourselves were being cross-examined. Oh no, that wasn't my intention. It is true that some feel that the Defense Culpability Act is a necessary evil at best, but it is a small sacrifice upon which the peace of our kingdom has been forged. If you consider executing innocent lawyers a small sacrifice, then sure. The fact is that following its passage, the crime rate here in Khura'in dropped markedly. Therefore, we have no regrets concerning the enactment of the Defense Culpability Act. Really, none at all. Right, why don't we leave it at that? This isn't a court of law, after all. Yeah. About the Founder's Orb that was to be exchanged with a hostage. It went missing after the murder. Would you happen to know anything about that? It's missing? I'm sure Dirk had it when he went into the tomb. If it wasn't there, I have no idea where it could be, Your Eminence. In that case, then perhaps Dirk has hidden it somewhere. Incidentally, there is the matter of that horned youth you were with.
Oh, she gave it to Apollo, right?
Yeah. Because at first, when he said that, I was thinking, oh, he's gonna lie. But then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, Apollo has it. Oh, you must mean Apollo. From his odd hairstyle, maybe we assume him to be a relative, perhaps your younger brother. No, you've got it all wrong. He's Dirk's son. Well, more like foster son. They're not actually related by blood. Dirk's. Royal Guard. Your Eminence. Hmm? What's she whispering in that one guy's ear? Thank you for your time. The 2 of you may go now. Yes, Your Eminence. We'll be on our way. Okay, now what? Apollo and Athena have the murder scene investigation covered, so maybe we should go speak with the locals over at the bazaar. Where's Balby? Maybe we'll see him here. Well, what? Was that a lion? Oh, that? Caught me by surprise, too, when I first heard it. It's the cry of a local bird known as the warbad. A bird? That sounds like that? Sounds more like a beast than a bird, if you ask me. It's a form of mimicry. You know, to help protect them against predators and stuff. Yes, well, can't say I've heard one quite like that before. Oh, it's more than unusual, it's endangered. It's extremely rare to encounter one in the wild these days. If it's so rare, then what's one doing out here in the middle of the bazaar? You got me, maybe it's something to do with it being their national bird. Ah! Was that a gunshot? Har 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 har. Started ya, PW? What was that, Dax? Aren't you still wanted, dude? The Defiant Dragon's newest weapon. I call these puppies Dragon Snot Snaps. Aha, and you need those. Why? Because our hard work is starting to pay off. Thanks to our TV signal hijacking and stuff, more and more people are joining our cause. But on account of that, the regime's been cracking down on us real tough like. Yeah, there's been a lot going on lately. You can say that again. I mean, what with the High Priest's fake murder/suicide? People are calling it the DCA tragedy, and it's causing a real public uproar. Hopefully this means Trust's death won't be in vain after all.
Yeah, she's still running around somewhere.
That is true.
She joined Dirk's cause.
Yeah. So how exactly is a handful of firecrackers going to be of help to you guys anyway? Simple. First, I supply them to our fellow rebels. Then we use them as a diversion when we need to shake your aunt's goons. Huh? Like this. Whoa! Will you cut that out? I'm not with the regime and I'm not chasing you. Har 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 har. Your reaction, that was priceless, PW. Har 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 har. Guess I started that warbad too. It's a miracle no one's trying to arrest him while he's too busy laughing. You there. You are one of those insurgents, are you not? Yikes! Take that. Eek! And he's gone. Those firecrackers are more useful than I thought. Barbed Head! Your benevolence. What can I do for you? I wanted to speak with you. About what my mother said. I do not believe a word of it. My father could not have been planning a coup. Well, I can understand why you'd feel like that, but it was a setup. Someone must have been plotting against him. And how do you know that? I just do, because the Holy Mother guides me. And as the Royal Priestess, I must uncover the truth for all to see. Maybe this is just how Rayfa expresses her sense of duty.
See, I don't think her mom has the ability to do things.
Right, she has no powers at all.
Yeah, I think she put Inga up to getting that orb.
Ah.
So that she could have it. Because this kid has it. Your mom's like in her 40s. Why can't she do this seance? Did you make the kid do it? You know what I mean?
But then, did she kill Inga for some reason, or did someone else kill him and the whole thing's...
Probably using Inga as a block, as a take the blame.
Then rejoice, for I shall accompany you and bestow upon you the Royal Priestess's wisdom. Ha ha ha! That's the best news I've heard all day, your benevolence. No one would dare get in our way with Rayfa by our side. Oh, he means it. He means it. We humbly accept your offer, don't we, Edgeworth? As you wish, right? Excellent, then let us begin with my father's private quarters. We should be able to find some clues there. I shall expose this false charge for what it is, if it is the last thing I do. Could it be? Is the reason she's so defensive about Inga because she's a daddy's girl? Barbed Head, let us not waste any time. My father's private quarters are located within the royal residence. Now follow me. Wait, she's sure in a hurry. Right, the minister's private quarters may hold evidence related to his murder as well. Yeah, maybe we can kill two birds with one stone. Rayfa's awfully fired up. I just hope she'll be ready for the truth we find. After all, it's hard to believe that Inga was not in full control of the whole affair. So we gotta go... Oh, the royal residence. Now, if we could figure out which of these buildings houses Inga's private quarters, that's where we'll find Rayfa. Is it this one? Grand Palace, the heart of the kingdom's government and religion. Yes, the two are inseparably intertwined here in Khura'in. The religious beliefs of its people touch every aspect of their lives, including legal affairs. Right, like how they commune with spirits in court. I suppose Khura'inism is the glue that binds their faith, law, and politics together. It may seem strange to foreigners like us, but for them it's perfectly natural. Now that's what I call an extravagant exterior. Is this where Inga's private quarters are? Watch your step, right? That urn's been knocked over, spilling water everywhere. Yeah, the ground's soaked. I wonder who did this. I think someone's in there. Father. Is that Princess Rayfa? There were still so many things I wish to tell you. She always puts on such a brave face. But hearing her crying all alone, I can't help but think of Trucy. Father. Princess Rafa, are you in there? Ah, just a moment, I'll be right out. Aw. I see you are finally here. Well, let us commence our investigation, shall we? Your benevolence? Maybe you should rest for a minute first. Uh-oh. You were eavesdropping on me, weren't you? No, I mean, yes, sorry. I couldn't help overhearing. It wasn't like I was spying on you or anything. You stupid, stupid, barbed head! Youch! You could have feigned ignorance. It's as if your brain-to-mouth filter shuts off the moment you step out of the courtroom. I'm not that bad, Edgeworth. Anyway, what took you so long? I thought you would never get here. You have a lot of nerve keeping the Crown Princess waiting. Oh, sorry? This was my father's residence. I have already unlocked it, so you can go right in. Oh, and be careful, some dingbat dog got in the courtyard and spilled water over there. A dingbat dog? That's right, the yappy mutt spilled a whole urn's worth. I wonder how it got into this area. Do you know what it looked like? I have better things to do than to memorize what some stray dog looks like. Anyway, it's not worth talking about. Let's search my father's room, shall we? I really hope she's alright. Let me also do the footsteps, just in case. There are footprints coming from this residence. Too bad they just kind of end. I wonder who made them and where they went. I see prescriptions on the table. What a mess. You can definitely tell a guy used to live in this room. I guess Inga and I had at least that much in common. This staff keeps getting in the way. Nana! Oh. Huh? Where's Nana? Normally... She comes running whenever Rafa calls. That's right. Nana is what? Oh well, you barbhead, come hold the staff for me. Why me? Just take it, it's too heavy and I'm tired of holding it. How does Nana put up with this day in and day out? I'll just set it over here for now. Talk to her first. Barbhead, I, the Royal Princess of Karain, shall share my thoughts on the abduction. You will? Listen carefully, for such opportunities do not come often. Yes, of course, we'd be grateful to hear anything you'd like to share. My father was very likely seeking to obtain the Founder's Orb, but it was not for the purposes of a coup d'etat. It was all for my sake. For your sake. The Founder's Orb is capable of bestowing great spiritual power. My father truly believed that. And he wanted the power to be mine. I haven't finished my training and I still can't channel spirits. He was doing it for me. Right, I see. Well, do you understand why he did it now? I do, but it doesn't change the fact that Minister Inga was a kidnapper. Ah. But I guess you don't believe he is, do you? Ooh. New information is sure to surface upon further investigation. Suffice to say, he did this all for me, end of story. Was he really trying to obtain the orb for Rafa? Somehow I doubt it. Speaking of powers, I wonder if Rafa will be performing the divination seance tomorrow. I should probably ask her about that. Your benevolence, I notice Nana isn't with you today. Did she pass away? I know not where she has gone. I have not spoken with her since this morning. I assume she must be quite busy today. I did catch a glimpse of her a little after 2 o'clock. I tried calling out to her, but she went off somewhere again. A little after 2? That's about an hour before the murder. Indeed. Of all the times for this to happen. She normally comes to me the moment I call her name. I know it's hard to believe, but even nannies have lives, you know. Your inability to find her after the murder is slightly alarming. I wonder if her absence is related to today's incident somehow. Do you think she was unwittingly caught up in them? Who knows? At the very least, I don't think she was at the scene of the crime. Nana, I hope she's alright. Rafa seems really worried for Nana. Your benevolence, has Nana served you long? Yes, she has been at my beck and call for as long as I remember. I have heard she even cared for me as an infant, right down to changing my diapers. Your diapers? It almost sounds like she could be your mother. Indeed, but that is a simple fact of life when your mother is busy being queen. Nana takes care of my every need. She is my teacher in all things as well. Rafa's pool of knowledge seems rather lopsided in some respects. Could that be the result of Nana's teachings? Nana, could it be that my trusted attendant has come to dislike me? Now that I think about it, perhaps I've been acting rather spoiled as of late. Oh, I'm sure she'll be back. Yes, I suppose Nana would never truly abandon me. Upon her return, I will do something nice for her. Perhaps she'd like a shoulder massage. And yet, I can't shake the feeling that Nana's connected to this case in some way. I take it you'll be conducting tomorrow's divination seance. Who else if not I? Good point. The thing is, divination seances are all about what victims experience in their final moments. So tomorrow, Rafa will experience her own father's death exactly as it happened. That's more than anyone should ever have to deal with. Do you really have to go through with the seance tomorrow? There's really no one else? What about just calling the whole thing off? It's not as if I'm doing this because I want to. No? Ah. Never mind, I misspoke. The divination seance is a very important duty of the royal priestess, and it is one I intend to fulfill. There's that word, duty. Performing the divination seance is very important for a priestess. But duty or not, it's a heavy burden for someone so young. Even worse, she'll be forced to watch her father's murder. Will it be a weight too heavy for her to bear? Oh, whoops. Whoops. She says not because she wants to, maybe because she has to, because as you keep hypothesizing, her mother can't. And that could very well be the case. It's a syringe and a vial. Those were for my father's back pain. He said it really helped when the pain was particularly unbearable. It was that bad, huh? He must have been injecting some sort of painkiller directly into his back then. Yes, my father said his back pain could knock him off his feet. I know the feeling. I've experienced some pretty severe back pain of my own. Well, he can't have you throwing your back out in court, so why don't you take a vial? Oh, no thanks. I hear your body builds up a tolerance to that sort of thing. I thought you didn't want them. I'm going straight to a chiropractor as soon as I get home. This is most likely a special ink pad for the Justice Minister stamp. Its insignia is carved big and bold right on the lid. Talk about overkill. Did he really have to mark everything he owned? This notepad must have belonged to Inga. Let's see. Yeah. That's strange. Nana, purple hat, glasses, diamond-shaped tattoo on forehead. Dirk, long hair, eye patch, blue clothes. Phoenix Wright, spiky hair, blue clothes, pink necktie. These appear to be notes detailing people's most prominent characteristics. Hey, there's even some stuff about me in here. Why would he bother doing this? I'm afraid even I can't answer that. Whatever the reason, it's giving me a case of the heebie-jeebies. It's as though he was taking down descriptions of people over the phone. That's what it reminds me of, anyway. What a brilliant deduction, one fitting of a chief prosecutor such as yourself. I commend you. That's high praise coming from you, your benevolence. Edgeworth's right, they do look like dictation notes, but I don't know. I mean, why bother describing Nana who he must have seen every day? I mean, was he trying to kill everybody and then we know what they look like because we have a description?
He's gonna give it some other reasons.
This chair looks like it was modeled after Inga's suit jacket. The backrest even has those fancy buttons of his. I imagine they make the chair awfully uncomfortable to sit on. Actually, they serve to massage the pressure point on his back. My father suffered from terrible back pain, you see. I wonder if it really works. Wow, that's one gaudy sculpture. My father sculpted it himself from a block of solid gold. Why does it not surprise me that he was also a narcissist? Ha ha ha, it's pretty detailed. He even included that personal stamp of his. Hey, the stamp's a little loose. Oh. Ah. Look, there's a secret safe inside. Oh my, to think such a thing was here all this time. Rats, looks like we'll need a combination to get in. What's this? Giselle Labelle. Oh my god. Never thought I'd see this brand again. It appears to be a sample of some sort of spray-on hair color. Color jet black. I wonder if Inga was going gray. Here, Edgeworth, maybe you could use it. I like my natural hair color just fine, thank you very much. Here's the footsteps. There are some muddy shoe prints here, come to think of it. There was some spilled water by the entrance. Somebody must have stepped in it before coming in here. They're already dry, that means they're at least several hours old. And someone must have been in here today in the early afternoon, for our servants clean this room each day. Here in Khura'in we have a saying, leave not today's untidiness to the morrow. Mine is, why clean up today when you can leave for tomorrow? I'm really beginning to wonder what's inside that safe. Any idea what the combination might be, Your Benevolence? None whatsoever. It looks like a 4-digit combo lock, so maybe it's a date, but it's probably not anything that would be easy to guess. Well, let's try some dates and see what happens. I wonder what date Inga would use the combination. Rafa's
I
birthday.
didn't see Rachel's birthday, but that's
Yeah. Parents' anniversary. I mean, they all seem possible. When's your birthday, Your Benevolence? You are wasting your time. It could not possibly be my birthday. Oh, come on. It's worth a shot. Fine, it's December 24th. Christmas Eve. Well, let's give it a try. Ah! It opened. It did? Yep, and it looks like the bottom safe was a fake. Something meant to mislead would-be thieves, no doubt. Still, it was rendered quite ineffective by his use of such an easily guessed combination. Why, Father? Why my birth date? Because you're special. Okay, let's see what's in here. This looks like a letter or something. Let's see. Dear Father, I wanted to wish you a happy birthday. You're always so kind, and I love you very much. I hope you live to be 100 years old. Love, Rafa. I wrote this to my father when I was 8 years old. Father, why would you hold on to something so childish and stupid? There are some other papers in here. Ah! That won't be mine. The spiritual power I obtained from the treasure will back up my claim. In the meantime, the secret police are to keep a close watch on Garen. Huh. This is the plan for his coup d'etat. What? Give me that. I don't understand. It seems Justice Minister Inga was plotting the assassination of the Queen. This can't be true. Father would never harm Mother. To come as a terrible shock. What's this? There's a photo in here too. It's of a woman and a baby. I wonder who they are. Is it Amara? On the far left, there's a law book with the Mark of the Defiant Dragons branded on it. Wait, that's Your Benevolence? How can this be? Princess Rafa. She's looking incredibly pale. Your benevolence, are you alright? Alright? How can I be alright? Huh? All that I have believed, it was all lies. I'm afraid I don't follow. What the heck's she talking about? Can I ask who the woman is in this photo? How should I know? It seems I didn't know anything that was going on. Doesn't look like I'm going to get much more out of her while she's like this.
I'm assuming that's Amara, and the baby she's holding is Nayuta. Or should be. Unless that's her mother.
Yeah, mother. Huh? I must ask my mother about the secret she is hiding. What secret? I must go. Goodbye. Wait. What was that all about? It's like her mind was off somewhere else. It appears this photo really upset her. I wonder who the lady is in this picture. Stop! Shadow, come back here. Oh, there we go. So that's the stray dog. Wait, that sounds like Obby and Shadow. That's odd. Commoners aren't normally allowed in this area. I wonder what's afoot. Ah, Edgeworth! Now he thinks he's a royal guard. What? I hope one of you has a good explanation for this. Ah, I'm so sorry. Hi, Albie. No, Shadow. Bad dog. Leave the man's frilly thingamajig alone. If you would kindly detach your dog from my cravat. Or is it a cravat? Cravat. Right away, sir. Just hold still and... Stop pulling like that. You'll only stretch the fabric. Come on, Shadow. Let go of his cravachamacollet. Alright, this isn't working. I'll just have to pull harder then. Uh-oh. What's gonna happen to his... What's gonna happen to his clothing? Adina! Oh, looks like his clothing's still fine. Were you trying to kill me? I'm really sorry, mister. My dog has a habit of attacking frilly things like that. Maybe for his sake, he should stick to more traditional targets, like cars or his tail. What's worse, he's like in here again today and stole some weird-looking hat. Oh, isn't that, Nana's? I don't know what to do anymore. Bad dog, you're a very bad dog. Wait a second, I've seen that hat before. Albie, can I see that hat again? Sure. Wait, isn't this Nana's hat? But I thought she disappeared. Shadow swiped it from someone. Albie, how exactly did Shadow get this? Allow me to explain. It all started while we were on a walk through the bazaar today, when suddenly Dats popped out of a manhole. Ah! Whoa! The fangs of the Defiant Dragons. Ah! That's Arbalest here! So, you want to join our cause, kid? Huh? Naturally, I was super startled by that weirdo's sudden appearance. Back, dog of the Garand regime. Huh? But this is my dog, Shadow. Defiant Dragon's secret weapon, Dragon Snot Snaps. Achoo! Oof. Har 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 har. Oh man, the look on your face, that was classic! The sudden bang of the firecracker spooked Shadow, and he ran off into the crowds. Ah, Shadow, come back here! Har har har, that'll teach you, Garan's lapdog. You there, what do you think you're doing? Ah, not good! That's when a policeman came running over and hauled Dats away. It happened right around 2 p.m. if I remember correctly. I'm not even going to pretend I know what Dats was trying to do. I chased right after Shadow, and when I finally caught up to him here in the palace courtyard, he had this in his mouth. 2 p.m., huh? That's about an hour before the minister's death. Nina supposedly went missing after the murder. But this would place her here at the palace at around 2. Actually, I just remembered I saw something pretty amazing around that time, too. Something amazing. So, Albie, what was it you saw that was so amazing? I saw Her Eminence Queen Garan channeling a spirit. Is it really that big of a deal to see her channeling someone? You bet it is. Commoners are never allowed to behold the sacred rite. Oh, can you tell me more? Of course, I've always happened to explain. I believe it was around 2:10 today. I got lost on the palace grounds while looking for Shadow. Oh, what is this place? It gives me the creeps. Where could Shadow have gone? In my search, I took a peek into a small room, and that's when I saw Queen Garan. She was channeling a spirit for a neighboring kingdom's king. I saw her transform right before my eyes. I was so excited I had to take a picture of it. You took a picture? I know I shouldn't have, but I just couldn't help myself. Between this and the treasure room, Albie's not exactly the picture of self-restraint. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's pissed.
Her channeling rite ended right after that, so I ran off before anyone could spot me. You could have been arrested again, you know. Yeah, I know. Anyway, here's a copy of the picture. Just don't tell anyone I was the one who took it. I worry about his future sometimes. Yeah, I do too.
That's the other kingdom's king.
Yeah, with the mustache. It's
Different outfit.
different outfit. It's peeking between these two doors.
She's got everything in there.
I mean, it just looks like her. How did you and Shadow get into the royal residence anyway? It's not open to commoners after all. Allow me to explain. There's a way to get into the palace from the bazaar. It's a bit of a tight squeeze, though. Shadow can easily fit, but anyone bigger than me is out of luck. You don't say. Yeah, part of the palace wall is damaged, and there's a hole I can just make it through. Go on. Hehehe, bet you didn't know they have some really tasty food here. Oh, then this isn't your first time in here, huh? Trespassing is illegal, you know. No, it's not like that. I didn't mean any harm. It's just, I want to help change this kingdom. What do you mean? Well, Optimus faced trial, I started thinking, like maybe there's something I could do to help the revolution too. Maya's trial, huh? That tragedy only happened because of how twisted Karane's legal system has become. The VC Act led to the false charges against Maya and the hype of his suicide. That trial also caused the public to start questioning the current state of things, and it seems even Albie has some pretty strong feelings on the matter. I knew there had to be something I could do to help. That's when I remembered the hole in the palace wall and started thinking, maybe I could sneak in and take a picture of one of the royals up to no good. I just want to do my part. The spirit of revolution seems to be catching on, even with one so young. Right, the momentum is steadily building, and the tipping point is fast approaching. It's just a matter of when. I agree, and the public's perception of the Defiant Dragon seems to be changing too, bless you. But Albie, You can't go trespassing like that. Even if it's for a good cause, it's not right. Okay, I won't do it again. Albie, is that really all you have to confess? You haven't been up to any other mischief? And when I say you, I mean Shadow. Huh? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Nice try, Albie, but the proof is literally right in front of us. Oh, so he's the footsteps? Oh, maybe. Albie, you wouldn't happen to know how this urn got knocked over, would you? I gotta look fast. The Arbie. Alright. Ah! Because your benevolence told me something rather interesting. The dingbat dog she mentioned wouldn't happen to be Shadow, would it? Ooh. I guess the dog's head of the family. Sorry I lied, but I was worried I'd get in trouble. I know I shouldn't lie to a lawyer like that. No, it's not good to lie to anyone like that, so let's try to only tell the truth, okay, Albie? Oh, Mr. Wright, I almost forgot. I saw a couple of Americans a moment ago. They had really weird haircuts, so I thought they might be friends of yours. Really now? Seems your faithful friend thinks all us Americans have strange hairstyles. I suppose we have you to thank for that, right? So what exactly did their hair look like? I'm sure it was Apollo and Athena. There was a guy with 2 crops of hair sticking out of his forehead like an antenna. Then there was this lady with a long bunch of hair that looked like a big R and spider leg. Oh, that sounds like Apollo and Athena. What were they doing? They were racing through the bazaar with the Grand Royal Guard in hot pursuit. What? Wait, what? Oh yeah.
She doesn't like
Dirt.
because she thinks, or Apollo, she thinks that it's his kid.
I'm not sure, but I have my suspicions. I just hope they're all right. Sorry for not mentioning it. It just kind of slipped my mind. Heh. Nah. Albie's been doing good. He probably took some really great pictures and stuff. And honestly, he's helpful. I like that kid.
You can.
Yeah, he's a kid. He's funny. His dog's cute. Let's see. How long have we been playing?
45 minutes?
48. Yeah, just about.
That's a little bit more time.
Alright, let's try it out then.
I don't know that we get the arrangements.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. We'll see. Those guys sure are persistent. Yeah, they even wore me out, and that doesn't happen often. Why are they after us anyway? Oh, Apollo, it's the Royal Guards again. Arr, quick, hide. Hey, where'd Hornhead and Spider Hair go? Spidey Hair? They're not talking about me, are they? Is that a trick question? We know you're hiding somewhere around here! Apollo, that weird-looking bird over there, did it just... Yeah, it did. It's called a warband, and... You know what, I'll tell you all about it later, when we're not being chased by masked men. Come out, wherever you are! And over the Founder's Orb if you know what's good for you! It figures they're after the orb. I don't want to know what they'd do to us if we were captured. If they grill us in those obnoxious, loud voices, I'd cave after the first hour and confess to whatever they wanted, truth or no. Come out now, you foreign devils! This has gone far enough. You must not keep Her Eminence waiting any longer. We've got to get out of here. There must be a safe place to hide somewhere. Any ideas? Yeah, I'd like... Oh, wait! Manhole. Look, a manhole! Ah, that's right. Yeah, I remember your office. Let's see what he has on file. Athena, I know where we can hide. Follow me. Oh, where are we going? Wait, you're not seriously thinking about going down there? It smells like rotten eggs. And are those rats I hear? We've got no choice. I can get us somewhere safe, but this is the only way in. Quick, before it's too late. It's going to take forever to get the stent out of my hair. I never thought of her as spider leg, but I guess it actually does make sense. Looks like we lost them. That was close. Dirk's office. How long has it been since I last set foot in here? At least we're safe now, but... Why is Athena all huddled over in the corner like that? Ah! That's AJ! What the heck are you doing here? Grand Trail guards are after us. Har har har, once a rebel, always a rebel. Don't worry, the regime doesn't know about this place, so you can relax now. Good, but since when am I part of the rebellion? I don't recall signing up. Hollow. Mr. Wright, what are you doing here? We saw you two go into that manhole. You narrowly escaped the guard's notice. It was like watching a pair of ostriches burying their heads in the sand. I guess that was a closer shave than I had thought. Anyway, you're safe and sound now, and that's what really counts. Oh, I also have some evidence for you. Oh! Do you have any evidence? Eeny meeny. So, what is this dubious hovel you found yourself in anyway? It's the Defiant Dragon's safe house, also known as the former Sanmati law offices. I see. Well, though it may just be happenstance. Here I am, a chief prosecutor hiding out in a rebel base. Please don't report this place to the local police, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Let us take a look around while we're waiting for the heat to die down. Come on, Athena. Stop moping over there and help me check this place out. Please tell me there's a shower here. There's a sink in the kitchen, and if you're lucky, maybe even some soap. I'm sorry I even asked. So, Dad, you guys are still using this office, I see. Yep, so now it's the official HQ of the Defiant Dragons. As Dirk said, and I quote, "We must keep it for the day when Karain needs lawyers once more." Restoring the legal system to its rightful form through popular uprising. You can tell how much Dirk believes in his cause. Oh, and AJ, Dirk said something else that might interest you. He said he hopes you'll come back and take over this office someday. Take over? Me? Those were his words. He may have been half joking, though. Dirk, guess what I heard from PW? AJ's become a lawyer. Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you. It must have been because of Dirk. Because of you, Dirk. I'm not so sure about that. I imagine he's already forgotten about me. What are you talking about? I bet he can't wait to follow in your footsteps. Ha 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 ha, nothing would make me happier. Maybe one day he'll return to Karain and take over this office. Heh, it's just a pipe dream, though. Dirk really said that. Dirk was never a hands-on kind of dad. But not a day goes by that he wasn't thinking of you. That much I'm sure of. Doesn't get more paternal than that. Dirk, and to think, I really did spend my days trying to forget you. I'm looking forward to a nice, long talk once you're free. Let's examine some stuff. Such as this. There's a scary-looking knife sticking out of the Queen's picture. If anyone saw this, they'd think the Defiant Dragons were a violent group. Oh, that? That was actually me trying to kill a fly. I threw that knife at it, but I whiffed, and the thing ended up stuck between her eyes. You mean this wasn't on purpose? Stats, what's with the altar? It's where we pay our respects to the victims of the Defense Culpability Act. The DC Act is a heinous law that puts innocent people to death. A law that's supposed to protect the people sends them to their graves instead. Talk about insane. Probably the notes on the coffee table there. This is Dirk's old law book. Look, there's a mark on the cover. It looks like it was branded on with a hot iron. Yeah, I think it was done in protest against the Defense Culpability Act. There's an entry on the DC Act right here, see? Oh, so this is the infamous anti-lawyer law you guys are always talking about. I wonder what's in this file. Oh, it's full of newspaper clippings. The arson incident involving Mara's private residence. Mara was slipped a sleeping pill and perished in the fire. The lighter found at the scene had Dirk's fingerprints on it. It seems to be a collection of documents and information on Mara's assassination. And this is what Dirk was talking about. We already know most of the stuff here on top. Let's see what else there is. Wow, where did we get all this? Anything important here? What about this? Apollo's roving musician father got caught up in this incident and lost his life. He was struck in the head by the culprit. The victim's passport and any pictures of him were burned in the fire. Without knowing his real name, no divination seance could be performed. Oh!
His name was like Jovan, though, wasn't it? Jovan Justice? Remember?
I don't remember, because I think we were only told once. But does this mean if we know his real name, we can see his divination seance during the trial? Apollo's roving musician father got caught up in this incident and lost his life. What? This is about your father, Apollo. Looks like it. But I was never told much more than what's written here. Really? How come? Dirk always skated around the subject. Maybe he thought I was still too young.
Dirk's his real dad.
Plus, I always thought of Dirk as my dad, so I never really brought it up. Oh, I see. Still, I feel kind of sorry for your real dad. My real dad. I was never really interested in learning about him. But after seeing his picture, I can't help but feel a little curious. I wonder if Dats could tell me anything about him. We'll ask Dad. Dats in a second. Oh, this file looks like it might be useful. But there's so many pages I can't tell what's important. We need someone to help organize all of this. I think I know just the person to ask. I don't know the person to ask. Sadmani Law Offices. That's the sign Dirk used to display out front. Hey, Dats, I heard the office used to do quite a bit of business. That it did. Dirk was a famous lawyer with countless courtroom victories, after all. He was the dauntless dragon who turned trials upside down, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. His fame as a lawyer spread far and wide across Khura'in back in the day. I hope the day comes when he could proudly display this sign again. Who's the kid? Wait a second. That's you, Apollo. I'd recognize those horns anywhere. Is that really the only way anybody recognizes me? Hee, you were so cute. And who's that fine-looking young man? That's Nayuta, back when he used to smile. Wow, his smile is absolutely angelic. Sure brings back memories. That was taken the day we all went out fishing. What was Prosecutor Sadmati like when he was younger? He was kind of quiet, but passionate when it came to his convictions. When he finally made prosecutor, he was all fired up to change Khura'in for the better. But now he's nothing more than Duran's lackey.
That's his aunt.
Yeah, it is. Seems like Dad has a lot to say about Nayuta. He hasn't made that face yet. I'll ask him about his thoughts later. And I guess one last thing. Dirk's jacket. You should try it on, Apollo. It might actually suit you. Really? There's also a spare eye patch here. Why not try that on too? Hee. Sorry, just picking you and all that. Just too funny. Ow, my pride. Dats, wasn't Nayuta once part of the Defiant Dragons? Yep, Yudi was a rising star in the Resistance. He vowed to fight for the cause through the legal system. Said he'd become a prosecutor and give Inga and Garan the smackdown they deserved. But now he's, a puppet of the Garan regime. Not only that, but now he's going to prosecute his own dad. It doesn't add up. I wonder what happened to him. Me too, but if I had to guess, I'd say Garan has some serious leverage over him. Leverage like what? Wish I knew, but it seems like Dirk knows. I tried to press him about it, but he wouldn't say. Come to think of it, Dirk did say... If that's the case, I bet Mayuta doesn't really want to go through with Dirk's prosecution. That's about this file. Can you help me figure out which pages are the most relevant? Yep, sure can. I got the whole thing memorized. See this page? It's definitely worth a look. As the son of the terrorist Dirk, Mayuta was expelled from the royal family. The idea that the sins of the father are visited upon his children is deeply rooted in the minds of the Kuranese people. Yep, but he was expelled after that whole thing with Dirk happened. He must have gone through hell once he entered the legal world, though. Because of the whole the sins of the father are visited upon his children thing? Yep, in the eyes of the people, Dirk is not only a traitor to his kingdom, he's also the terrorist who assassinated the previous queen. So as his son, Yudi no doubt got the cold shoulder at every turn. That must have been really hard on him. Yeah, the ties between father and son aren't something you could break, even if you tried. No matter where he went, he was probably labeled the son of a criminal. But despite it all, he made a name for himself through blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, just look at him now. He's a star prosecutor working cases around the globe. He's become a hero, the pride and joy of Khura'in. Now that's the Mayuta I know. Super smart and never willing to give in. He must have studied and fought like his life depended on it to get where he is today. What? You know something about this? Nope, just felt like shouting is all. Was there something else we have to ask him about?
What did you show him?
The channeling photo. Remember we said, oh, we'll get his opinion later on, like, Mayuta or whatever?
A picture of her having the baby.
The mark of the dragon. That's a symbol of our group, the Defiant Dragons. Dirk has the same mark tattooed on the palm of his hand, right? Yep, and I've got one too. Really? Where? On my heart. Oh, you mean metaphorically. Like you're ready to die at any time for the cause or something like that. You got that right. Dead or alive, I'll always be a Defiant Dragon. Dad, I wanted to ask you about this picture. That's the picture of your pops that Dirk found. And he had a heck of a time tracking it down. He said he searched all over for it. Why? Why would he go through all that trouble? Dad, please tell us everything you know about Apollo's dad. Do you know what my biological father was like? Dirk once told me about him. He was a modern minstrel, walking the world and making music in his travels. This file also has some information on your real dad. It says he died at the blaze at Queen Amaro's residence 23 years ago. That's right, Dirk had invited him over. Dirk's the kind of guy who can become fast friends with just about anyone. And it seems your pops was like that too, AJ. They hit it off at a bar. The next thing you know, Dirks asked him over to play some tunes. And then the place went up in flames. Yeah, Dirk had just stepped out for a second when the fire broke out. Apollo, you were there too, but you were still just a baby. I remember hearing about that when I was little. Yeah, it was a crying shame. Your pops just happened to take you along that day. So you were there with him when the fire broke out. Dirk risked his life to save you. It's like Dirk's done nothing but save me all my life. All your pop stuff got burned up, including anything that could have helped us identify him. All we knew about him at first was his stage name, Jangly Justice. Okay, there you go. Or something like that. Dirk did everything he could just to dig up what little we know now. What about my mother? Do you know anything about her? All we know is she was traveling with your pops. But that day, she was off doing something on her own. Well, it makes no my father had been with Dirk, huh? She must have been desperate to find you and your father once you'd gone missing. No doubt, but the Queen's assassination threw the kingdom into chaos. The police were so overwhelmed, they were probably hardly of any help to her. We searched and searched till our legs gave out too, but we never found her. And with your father's stuff all burned up, we have 0 leads, not even a photo. So that's how I became an orphan. Yeah, who knows? Maybe your mom read about the details of the fire in the newspaper. Maybe she figured you'd died along with your pops. Well, I had no idea you'd been through all that, Apollo. So then you believe me. You believe in my son's innocence. Old man. What? Your poor son. In prison for a crime he didn't commit. Let's petition the government for his release and a declaration of innocence. Oh, thank you. I'm forever in your debt. Who's the old man? Who's that? Hey there, Mr. Inme. Mrs. Inme, hard at work, I see. Yes, I have my own battle that I must wage. After all, there are many who suffer under the Defense Culpability Act. Mrs. Inme, please don't forget about our case, too. I won't. I will look into it as soon as I am able. Dats, what's Mrs. Inme doing here? She's lending an ear to all those suffering under the regime's wrongful accusations. A lady whose husband's been in prison, parents whose son's been falsely charged. She's helping all those types of people. So she's trying to help the revolution along, in her own special way. Yep, and thanks to her, more and more folks are coming to our side. All the people who have been unhappy with the regime have been waiting for just this chance, and they're starting to speak out in support of us. The people are responding, and a grassroots movement is growing. Dirk's dream of revolution may finally come true. What should we do about the Founder's Orb? We'll probably run into the Royal Guards again the moment we leave this place. Well, we can't stay here forever, so we'll have to think of something. I've got it. Why don't you hold on to it, Dats? It should be safe here, right? You can count on me. I'll get it back to you in time for tomorrow's trial at the Hall of Justice. What now, Apollo? Well, we've got a handle on what happened 23 years ago. Maybe we should pay Dirk a visit. There's something I want to show him. I'll join you. I want to talk to him before tomorrow's trial. Maybe I should wait here, then. We'll attract undue attention if we go in too large a group. Okay, so we're probably going to show Dirk the picture of the mother and the baby. Hey there, son. Came to see your old man again? Hi, Dirk. Guess they're done questioning you? Yeah, you'd think Nayuta might have cut his old man a little slack, but no. He really laid into me. Seems they're really clear on recovering the Founder's Orb. When I wouldn't tell them where it was, he confiscated what few possessions I had left. Wait, Dirk's not wearing his attorney's badge. They even took that from him? Is that for me, son? No, I was just wondering if you knew anything about it. Oh. Huh. He confiscated all of my prized jailbreaking tools. What did you expect? I mean, no prosecutor in their right mind will let a prisoner keep stuff like that. Did he take your attorney's badge too? Now, I thought it strange, but just when it looked like he was going to take it from me, he changed his mind. I wonder why. Indeed, I find it hard to understand anything he does these days. Your Kuranese attorney's badge. You've worn it all these years, even though all the lawyers are gone. Yes, because the dragon's eye is the embodiment of my creed. To show the world that a dragon never yields, huh? Hey, Dirk, why do you still wear your badge? You're not a lawyer anymore, right? This badge is my heart and soul, son. I'll never stop trying to realize my dream, not until my very last breath. A dragon never yields, right? Exactly. Nayuta, Apollo, I vow to restore Kurane's legal system to its rightful state one day. Oh! This is dialogue of them back in the day. I want to pass on to you a world where you can live free from the fear of tyranny. I thought Nayuta was talking right now, like he just eavesdropped. He was always saying stuff like that to the two of us. Nayuta, is the reason why you didn't take Dirk's badge because you still remember those talks too? I really hope that's what it is. Son, would you keep my badge for me? Are you sure? I can't take something so important to you. That's exactly why I want you to hold on to it, Apollo. I'm placing my fate in your hands. Alright, I'll make sure it stays safe. That's the only remaining photo of your father. Take good care of it. I will. I'm just surprised to see it after all these years. I had a tough time tracking it down and retrieving it. It was taken by some European tourists who just happened to be watching your father. I had one of my men go to Europe to look them up and ask whether we could have it. You went through all that trouble. I did, so don't go losing it or anything. I said I'd take care of it, didn't I? He was an entirely insufferable, unlikable fellow, but I never thought he'd wind up dead. Why didn't you like him? He was the most hawkish one in the Garand regime. He established the secret police to arrest us rebels without due process. Those they managed to capture were immediately executed. My compatriots in the Defiant Dragons came to call him the Executioner. The Executioner? Pretty ironic considering how he ended up. He's probably in hell now, being tormented by those he wrongfully put to death. Oh, you're getting the kitty? I found this in the tomb. Look familiar? Oh. Okay, well, my better half is getting a kitty inside, so I'll have to wait for her. Because there is something big here. And I don't know what it is. So, he's just going to remain shocked for just a little longer. Now they showed him the butterfly pendant. Wonder what else I gotta show him. Or maybe that's it. Well, maybe he has something to say. You have something to say about, well, the assassination file, yes. And Inga's notepad. They both are things. So, I just showed him the pink butterfly pendant, and he's a bit shocked.
Is it Amara's?
I haven't looked yet. I didn't want to change the dialogue until you came back. Dirk? Where did you find it? Down between the Mong statues in the tomb. Is it yours, Dirk? Oh, it's something I bought. Why is he suddenly acting all awkward? I wonder when I lost it. Let's have it. It's very important to me. Of course. I'll just make a note about it for future reference. Paula, remember how Inga said he had someone dear to Dirk? Why don't you ask about that? Alright, I'll give it a try. What did the minister mean when he said he had someone dear to you in the palm of his hand? Who was he talking about? Now, you just seem to know, but he wouldn't tell me anything. Well, I've no idea, so... Well, you obediently followed his every word after he said that. So it seems to me the minister was in close proximity to someone you really care about. Oh, someone you really care about that isn't Nayuta. Wait, don't tell me. Is there a new lady in your life, Dirk? What? No, don't be ridiculous, son. The love of my life was Amara, but she's gone now and there will never be another. Ah. My bracelet. Does that mean... Dirk, have you really not met somebody new?
Need more water.
Whoa.
Gotcha!
Dirk, you can't fool me. You tensed up when you said but she's gone now, and you unconsciously moved your arm, causing something to press up against your jacket. Ah! How did you do that? Oh, so that's it. You're hiding a woman's photo up your sleeve. You don't have to keep secrets like that from me, Dirk. You're an eligible bachelor now, but you'll introduce her to me at some point, right? I keep telling you there's no other woman. Fine, then let's see it. What are you hiding up your sleeve? It's just this. Satisfied? Huh? But that's the pendant we found in the Mara's tomb. See? I wasn't trying to hide anything. Why did he tense up? Here, let me take a look at that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no pendant. Okay, I thought I was onto something. What's this button for? Whoa! Oh, it is her. It's a picture of Dirk and some lady, and she's really young looking too. Mondu, are you into younger women, Dirk? Heh heh, Dirk, you old dog, you. You got yourself a younger lover. Will you stop with this nonsense? This is Amara before she died. If you look closer, you'll see that I was younger too. Hey, you're right. Aw, that's no fun. Wait a second, haven't we seen this woman before? Now that you mention it, isn't this the same woman? Yeah.
Take that!
The woman in the pendant is also the one in this photo. Apollo, where did you get this? From the safe in Inglis' room. Apollo. If this is Queen Amara, it had to have been taken at least 23 years ago. But that's just not possible. Yeah, I noticed the same thing. Here's why this photo couldn't be 23 years old. Oh, is it because of the book that's here? Because it has Defense Culpability Act in it? Yeah.
Take that!
Or maybe... Take a look at the law book. It has the mark of the Defiant Dragons branded on it. But that mark didn't exist until after you started your revolutionary activities, Dirk. So this photo must have been taken after Garain came into power. And that didn't happen until after Amara was assassinated. So then, how could Amara even be in this photo? Wait a second. That would mean that Amara is... still alive? Arr! Looks like you found me out, son. Wait, so it's actually true?
I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, that's... huh. Dirk? What do you mean Amara's still alive? So wait, Inga had Amara in the palm of his hand? I thought she'd been assassinated.
Me too. So who's in the coffin?
Huh.
And who's the baby? Who's the baby?
Yeah.
I bet baby too.
Alright. Gonna get some water and then we'll... do
So-
this.
Is she the one that killed him? If her locket is covered in blood in there and there's footsteps right in there?
Oh god, that'd be crazy. That would be a big swerve. And look, he doesn't even know. I mean, you're about to get water, but last thing we said was, I thought she'd been assassinated, and he said, so did I. So when you come back, we'll figure this out.
What? She's actually Rachel's mother, where Eva, a child that had the ability to see the future or say it. So she thought she was assassinated,
Yes.
but we're just finding out that that's not possible because she's alive and she's holding a baby, but we don't know who the baby is. So the photo is not 23 years old.
Right. And the whole country hates him for assassinating someone who never died.
So we have some problems now.
Yeah. It seems she made it out alive only to be held captive by the Garan regime. Why would they do that? When I fled from the law and went underground 23 years ago, I heard some shocking news from a Defiant Dragon spy. There were rumors of Queen Amara being sighted in the palace. And those rumors turned out to be true? Yes, I snuck into the palace to see for myself. She was confined within the grounds, but otherwise she was as fit as a fiddle. So then, the sarcophagus in the tomb, it's empty. Yes, that entire tomb is one big charade. Garan had it built to stage Amara's death. So we're not going to be cursed by her vengeful spirit. That's a relief. She's adorable. She was being held under virtual house arrest, so I freed her and we made a run for it. This photo was taken back then. Look at how they're both grinning from ear to ear. There's a fingerprint on the metal part. I guess Dirk must have left it by accident. Oh, Mr. Sanmadhi, I want to hear all about how you ran away with Queen Amara. I'm surprised Amara agreed to run away with you. I mean, Garan must have told her that you tried to kill her. I tried to convince her that I wasn't the one who set the blaze. And she believed you? She said, and I quote, "I shall accompany you as I may ascertain the truth myself." Yeah, she always was a tough one to read. That's what Rafa says. I will accompany you so I can find out the truth. I bet she was thrilled you came to her rescue, Mr. Sunmahi. To be set free by your beloved. It's like something out of a fairy tale. Yeah, well, there was no happily ever after once Garan's people caught up with us. They took Amara away to who knows where. I snuck back into the palace and searched high and low for her, but to no avail. They probably moved her to some remote mountain prison or the like. Dirk, does Nayuta know about this? He knows she's his true mother. I told him as much. Wait, is that why Nayuta is following Garan's orders? Most likely. So then, do you think that deep down he doesn't really want to prosecute you? Well, he's not one to show his feelings, but lately, I've had no idea what he's thinking. Apollo, we need to grill the Queen about Amara when we have the chance. I was wondering about something. The little baby the lady's holding, is that Prosecutor Sunmahi? No, that's Rafa, that's why she was all freaking out. Could just as well be me. After all, we're only 1 year apart. I don't know, I mean, the kid in this picture is too cute to be you. Let's settle this by asking Dirk himself. Dirk, about the cute little kid in this photo, is that me? Huh? What are you talking about? See? I told you it was Prosecutor Sunmahi. Oh, I see. Well, either way, it's not you, son. So then if it's not Yuta, this was taken when he was about 1 year old, right? And that would mean you ran away with Amara about 22 or 23 years ago? Hmm? You're pretty good with numbers, son. Impressive. Huh? What kind of answer is that? I still don't think it's Nayuta. Before you go, son, because he didn't say it's Nayuta, he just said you're good with numbers. Let's see. I was looking for us, too, so I could compare ages, but 25. I don't know. I can't find... Yeah, because that's what I looked for first, was Apollo. Question mark.
She's not a mom. She's dressed up.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy going on.
But then she wouldn't be on house arrest. She'd be just around. I wonder. I've never seen you act so serious before. So what's this something important you have to tell me? Listen, son, even if you manage to prove me innocent tomorrow...
I'm going to try to kill you.
I don't have long to live. Huh? What are you talking about? What I mean is I can already hear the Twilight Realm calling my name. There's no escaping death now that it has its sights set on me. What? Is this another one of your jokes? I wish it were. Ha ha ha, you can't fool me, Dirk. That's strange. Why isn't my bracelet reacting? Are you sick? It's something like that. So you're not joking. I'm afraid not, son. Sorry. Isn't there a cure? Or at least some sort of treatment? Unfortunately not. Not for what I've got. If you need some sort of surgery, I'll work hard until I can pay for it. So, please. It's too late. There's nothing more to be done now. But as you always say, a dragon never yields, so why are you giving up now? Apollo, I'm sorry. I really am. I don't understand. Why is this happening, Dirk? Why? Listen, Apollo, I've got a favor to ask you. Would you keep quiet about this? I don't want my fellow dragons to find out. They'd lose all hope if they knew I was dying. Would you do that for me? Of course. Why is this happening now? Just when I was starting to feel like you really are my... I thought that this time we'd finally... But now... Damn it, why? Apollo. Listen, son, I don't have much longer to live, but I'll never let them execute me, not before I finish what I need to do. I know, Dirk, there's no way I'm going to let them prove you guilty. Before he goes, I'm going to turn back time by righting the wrongs that have been done. I'm going to restore Dirk's freedom and return a real smile to Nayuta's face. I'm going to win this case, I just have to.
So you use only an ankle because he knows the guy.
Pretty much. I have one more big secret. What? There's something else you've been hiding from me. I'm afraid I can't tell you what it is. I'm betraying a certain someone if I did. What's that supposed to mean? Forgive me, you'll just have to find out for yourself. That's the only way. I don't understand, Dirk. Apollo in court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son, after all. Dirk. What is he talking about? Wait, he's not going to reveal that he actually is the killer, is he? Looks like we run out of things to discuss. Apollo, are you okay? I'm fine. Free him now! Release Dirk! What's going on out there? Sounds like the party's getting started without me. Huh? Revolution! It's coming from the temple. Let's go, Apollo, and take a look.
Whoa, what is all this?
Ow! Let go, will ya? What are they? Huh? Well, look at that. The people are coming to take their courts back. Don't hold back, man! Arrest them all!
Dirk belongs to the people. Give him that. Yeah, where are you holding him? Fight down, you. They have my big sister, too, but she didn't do anything wrong. Ouch! Yeah, stop pulling my hair. Release my son. Release him now. Stop that. No biting. This is really something. It looks like Dats and Mrs. Indy are leading the charge. You unenlightened fools. Do you honestly think this will change anything? Yudi! Why do you keep serving that witch Garan? It's... Hey, Nayuta! You again. What's going on here? It would appear that the insurgents are fanning the flames of rebellion, but I never thought it would grow so large. However, they will all be under arrest shortly. Reinforcements are almost here. They'll be arrested just for protesting? They are aiding and abetting a criminal by seeking his release. Her Eminence Queen Garan has ordered they be arrested and judged en masse. Weren't you once a member of the Defying Dragons too? How can you go along with this? I am simply following the orders that Her Eminence has handed down. Now, it can't be as simple as that. Listen, Nayuta, there's something I want to talk to you about. Hey, you're not getting away this time. We need to talk. I see there is no reason with you. Very well, then speak. Nayuta, do you really have to serve as prosecutor on Dirk's case? I mean, prosecuting your own flesh and blood, it's just not right. Again with this drivel, your ethical standards are not the be-all, end-all of the world around you. I'm not getting into another debate with him. Nayuta, did you know that Dirk is sick? What? He apparently doesn't have that much longer to live. If found guilty, he probably wouldn't even make it until execution day. What are you talking about? Knowing this, are you still prepared to send an already dying man to his grave? Well, Enough with the Zen monk act, Nayuta. Tell me how you really feel. Mr. Justice, each person is born with a role to fulfill, and I must fulfill mine. While I'm not convinced that taking Dirk to trial is a part of your lot in life. As for why you've been at Garan's every beck and call, I think I might have the answer. Nayuta, you know the truth about your mother, don't you? If About how the former queen is still alive and being held somewhere? So Dirk told you, did he? Yes, it's true. My mother was spirited away to some remote corner of this kingdom, and to keep her safe from harm. Safe from harm? But Dirk said the Grand's regime is holding her captive. No, they are keeping her safe. So you don't know where Amara is being held? I only know that it is some secluded hideaway where visitors are not allowed. I have heard she leads a simple life akin to that of monastic disciples. Monastic disciples. Sure sounds like she's being held captive to me. Listen, Yuta, aren't you really doing the Queen's bidding because she's holding Amara captive? And this whole thing with Dirk, you know he didn't really kill Inga, don't you? Dirk doesn't have much longer to live, so I want to help him however I can. This time it's our turn. You could have been killed, but you risked your life to save us. Why? What a silly question. What father wouldn't risk his life to save his own children? Now, Yuta, Apollo, don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me, understand? It's our turn to help Dirk however we can. What you speak of is futile. Let it go and move on. The guilty verdict, the hopelessness, you must resign yourself to it all. Clinging to false hope now will only serve to magnify your future despair, so let it go and move on. Hey, Yuta, are you really going to just roll over on this? I've no more time for idle chatter. I must prepare for tomorrow's trial. Now, if you'll excuse me. Apollo, I sensed a whirlpool of emotions coming from within Prosecutor Sahdmadhi just now. Anger, shock, bewilderment, and an icy sorrow as deep and dark as an abyss. Yeah, I picked up on that too. Looks like Dirk really won't be the only one who will need my help tomorrow. I think it's about time to pay Queen Garand another visit, and ask her about her sister Amara. We might be getting to a good stopping point soon. The Royal Guard isn't around. That is utter hooey. You cannot continue to deceive the people like that. Rayfa, justice is much more than simply speaking the truth. Is that Princess Rayfa and Queen Garand over there? You deceived me too, Mother. How can I ever believe a word you say again? You nincompoop! Ah! Your benevolence? I couldn't help it over here. You impudent! Ow! Yep. Are you okay, Mr. Wright? I can't believe she actually punched you. Yeah, I'm used to it by now. What's the matter with the princess? It sounded like she was arguing with her mother. Maybe it has something to do with this picture. Rayfa said she had to ask her mother about some secret or another as soon as she saw it. So then, does that mean that Princess Rayfa knows what really happened? That Amara wasn't assassinated and is still very much alive? It would seem so, and she doesn't seem to be taking Garand's lies very well. But that's no surprise, considering how much Rayfa reveres her mother. That would definitely cause her a great deal of anguish and sadness. Eavesdropping, are we? How very rude. You there, are you not Dirk's son? Oh, nice to meet you, Your Eminence. We're actually here to speak with you, if you could spare a moment. Your Eminence, Dirk told me about Amara. About how she's still alive, that is. We know not of what you speak. After Dirk learned Amara was still alive, he rescued her and they went off together, but she was captured and remains captive in a secret location to this day. As for Nayuta doing your bidding, it's only because Amara's life is in your hands. Ho ho ho! What an active imagination you have. Ha 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 ha! A lawyer and a comedian, how droll! Whoa, where'd they come from? Anyway, if she's going to play dumb, I'll just have to jog her memory with some evidence. Your Eminence, I ask that you take a look at this photo. Why, it's a photo of Amara. And here you can see a law book bearing the mark of the Defying Dragons. I believe you know what that means. Very well. Royal Guard, stand down. Yes, Your Eminence. Your wish is our command. It seems there is no need to perpetuate this charade any longer. We shall speak of all we know. So then, you admit that Amara is still alive?
Yes, she is under our protection in a safe location.
I think you mean being held prisoner. And where is she being kept? Ho ho ho, now why would we tell the son of a traitor that? Guess she has a point there. Now heed our warning, Horned Devil. It would not be wise to inform the people that Amara yet lives. It would only serve to plunge public order into chaos. I have no intention of doing that. Besides, there are real terrorists out there who might try to kill her. Good. Now, there was something we have been meaning to ask you. Do you know what has become of the Founder's Orb? The Founder's Orb went missing after Dirk took it into the tomb. As his son, we thought you might know something of its current whereabouts. I knew it. I suppose I should thank you for that free-running tour of Khura'in. That was the Royal Guard's own doing. Nice try, lady, but now you're definitely not getting the orb ever. Why do you want the orb so badly anyway? Because it would be most dangerous in the wrong hands. It must be recovered. Is the legend true? Can the orb really impart spiritual power? Are you worried that someone could overthrow you with it? The Holy Mother's power is without equal. Should Her Holiness once again return to our world, she could conceivably bestow great power upon the one who unlocked the orb's secret. I guess it makes sense considering spirit channeling is a fact of life here. So we ask you, Horned Devil, did you receive the Founder's Orb from Dirk? Does it look like I did? So you like to play games, do you? Royal Guard. Yes, Your Eminence. It's a lot of Royal Guard. Search this devil and his belongings. What? And what, Your Eminence? Don't move. You're only making this harder on yourself. Yikes. Hey, cut it out. What the? Eek, Apollo, don't strip here. Stop resisting. Just submit to our strip search already. No, wait. Hey, cut it out. Ah! Rest in pieces, my poor, tattered dignity. There's no sign of the Founder's Orb, Your Eminence. So you have hidden it somewhere. No matter. We shall recover it one way or another once you are found guilty of abetting the accused. Dirk was right. She really is bent on getting the orb. Mother! Looks like the princess is back. I took a stroll to try to calm myself, but I still find this situation unacceptable. The people must be informed about Queen Amara. So she does know about that. Rafa, you do not yet possess a clear grasp of how a government and its people interact. There will always be secrets that must be kept from the ignorant masses. You have little faith in our people, Mother, but it is the royal priestess's duty to always speak the truth. And as such, I cannot remain silent. I will not. Ah, the truth you say. Your mind has been poisoned by the barbed one. It was an honor and a pleasure, Your Eminence. We must speak with our child. It is a mother's duty to discipline her child after all. Now, if you would excuse us. Discipline? Coming from her, I don't like the sound of that at all. Well, Apollo, let's head back to the safe house for now. Good idea. We need to go over what we found and collect our thoughts. Ah, you're back. Thank you for holding down the fort, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. Sorry it took so long. Hope you weren't too bored. I watched the plumed Punisher, warrior of Neo-Twilight Realm while you were gone. And my verdict is, it's an outrage, especially its theme song. Even worse, the people here believe it's an original Kuranese show. Can you believe it? I've already spoken about it at length with Mr. Arbel, and I'm not sure what he's babbling about, but at least it seems he wasn't bored. Moving along to things that actually matter, we've gathered about all the information and evidence we can concerning this case. I think it's time we go over everything we've learned so far. The Orb trial, Maya's abduction, and the murder of the mastermind behind it all, just as Minister Inga. It's a lot to consider. Think you have all the facts straight in your head? be the problem. Yeah, it's like the more we learn about this case, the less we understand. I agree, there's a deep darkness enveloping this case. I'm almost afraid of what we will find once we lift that black veil. Suffice to say, the real killer is certainly waiting underneath. The real killer, huh? Now that's the million-dollar question. Who killed Inga and why? Think, Apollo. Who would you say had a motive to commit this crime? I, for one, am drawing a complete blank. I want to know how the killer slipped into the tomb, killed Inga, and slipped back out without ever being seen. That's a bona fide locked room mystery right there. Well, we've collected plenty of evidence and statements. I just hope the rest comes out in court. It'll be a thinner tightrope than usual, that's for sure. This case has one big fly in the ointment. In order to prove Dirk completely innocent, we also have to exonerate him of the crime committed 23 years ago. Amara's supposed assassination. Right, we know Amara's still alive, but Dirk could still be charged with plotting to kill her. He couldn't discover the truth, even after over 2 decades of investigating. So our biggest hurdle is going to be the complete lack of evidence. Fire makes sure of that. Mr. Wright, have you ever won a case without any evidence? No, that's one thing I've never done before. Trial unprecedented even in the decorated annals of the Wright Anything Agency. Still, I can't help but wonder, was there really no evidence left behind? Oh, and we can't forget about the Defense Culpability Act. Those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In short, if Dirk is found guilty and is sentenced to death, we'll likely join him in a very public execution. Yeah. Beat the charges or die. What kind of crazy upside-down legal system is this anyway? Don't worry. I can ask someone as young as you. I can't ask someone as young as you to risk your life, Athena. So tomorrow, it'll just be me and Apollo on the courtroom floor. But you can support us by watching from the gallery. What? No, I want to help. I'm part of the agency too, after all. Sorry, but this is a direct order from your boss. So, he's gonna be helping us. That's kind of cool. He hasn't really done that on the stand since the 4th game. Plus, there's Prosecutor Blackwell to think of. He said he'd use me for sword practice if I put you in harm's way. Simon. Well, at least promise me this, you two. Promise me you'll make it back alive. Ha ha ha, make it back alive, huh? What's with that face, Apollo? You'll never inspire confidence in your client like that. And it'll play right into the prosecution's hands. Remember, the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're right. Even when it seems hopeless or when there's not a shred of evidence to be found, we can never let it show on our faces, right? Will I actually be able to do that tomorrow? When push comes to shove, will I be able to force my biggest smile?
No.
Yes, good stopping point here.
Hey, First Mickey.
Not do that.
I'm tired.
Alright, well, there's a lot we're going to uncover. I'm kind of curious what the big secret is that Dirk can't tell because it would betray somebody. That I don't really know. We still have the idea that it's Queen Garan. They're obviously not trying to make her look like a saint during this investigation. But I have wondered if it's her or if there's a swerve that's somewhere there.
Well, I'm very confused about this family tree. Because the photo couldn't have been taken 23 years ago, which would make it Apollo or whatever, because Nayuta's 25 years old. So it has to be taken sooner, which probably means it's Rafa, but then is her dad Inga, or is it also Dirk?
Yeah, because if that's Rafa, then it's Dirk. And that kind of changes things, because then he's kind of royalty, really.
Yeah, he'd be married into royalty, but I wonder if, like, he just let, like, it's his child that is in line, and they're just like, look, if you let Garan be queen, when she passes, it will be Rhaefa. But then, who is Inga in all of this? I'm confused. I've had some theories, and I think they're turning out to not be correct
Because there's still more to the case.
there's a lot more. And we still don't know how Lemire is really in this, because that would be the mother of Apollo, and they're saying that Jangle Justice, or whatever his name is the dad, but somehow Dirk is friends with him, and just took on his kid because Lemire couldn't be found.
Right. And I don't even know if they're going to address Lemire in this. But it would be nice to, I guess, just answer our questions some more. I'm sure we'll find out more about Apollo's dad in the picture. If it's Dirk or not. What role Garan played. Rhaefa, who's in the picture. And will we get two seances? Because will we also see the seance of Apollo's dad who was killed, supposedly?
I'm
So,
assuming at the same fire that supposedly killed Amara.
yeah, which didn't. And it's like, then why are we even crucifying Dirk if she didn't die?
They needed a scapegoat.
Yeah. And then who set the fire? So, lots to
Lots
do
of
next
questions.
time. Lots to do. And I have a feeling that it might be a multi-part trial where, not that we have like two trial days, but that the trial itself might be in 2 or 3 different chapters.
Okay.
So,
It'll be long.
yeah, so we shall see what happens.
Yeah. Family trees forking weird.
Yes, it is forking. It's really forking weird.